Hey everyone, welcome to another video log. This time I come to you from inside this creepy manor that we entered in the last area. I think it was one of the last posts I posted about the transition between the end of the swamp into the farm, and at the end of that you see a manor and you come through this door. And then when you load into here, this is actually the proper farm area, you find that the other side of the manor has actually been destroyed. It fell over. It's deteriorated. And so from in here, we can see, this is actually, the reason I'm making this now is just to show the progress. I've finished kind of the basics of the decoration. So I've got the trees in. You'll see when we get to the farm, plenty of corn that I just planted. That was pretty time consuming. So there's not a lot of decoration. So this place is pretty empty. I'm imagining this place kind of having some furniture, well, at least some boxes and stuff, some more debris and stuff. So yeah, let's just walk through it. Yeah, as you start your journey through here, you actually won't have access to this gate just yet. I opened it just for now because it's not working, the puzzle. But there'll be a little puzzle. You'll kind of explore this area a little bit more first before continuing. There's two paths to take, one down there, one down there. They're pretty different experiences, but you'll have to go through both paths anyway to get the puzzle pieces. You'll complete the puzzle and that'll open up the gate here. And that's supposed to act as like a mini tutorial of sorts, just to prepare you for what's ahead. Because what's after this is just a bigger version of that very puzzle. Just going to two different places, collecting an item, bringing it back, and then opening the gate. I'll explain that as we get further down. But this is the first view. I thought this was kind of cool. Very nostalgic for me growing up in the boondocks, near a lot of farmland and stuff. I was always kind of attracted to cornfields and corn rows and exploring and finding the secrets that lie beyond. Which never actually amounted to anything because it's just corn. But there's a mystique to it, and you never know what's lurking around the corners. That's kind of the idea behind this area here, is lost in a corn maze sort of idea. So yeah, you come here. This is actually not the way you'll see it. You'll actually see a broken, dysfunctional windmill right here. When you walk up to it, it should say something about the windmill's not working. And on top of all that, there's this gate on the far end here on the northern side that will also be closed. And I'll have some sort of indication that the two are linked. So you'll have a kind of an understanding that this gate will only open once you've fixed the windmill. It doesn't make any sense, but that's Resident Evil puzzle logic for you. That's kind of what I'm employing here. So you just have to, you'll have to roll with it. This is actually an effect done like most of the cool visual effects in the game with layers. So I have a couple layers of corn here. The first layer is this moving corn, and then after that we have a semi-detailed corn layer, and then beyond that is like just a flat plane of corn. And so hopefully that gives you the impression that there's a lot of corn, a whole farm's worth of corn here. I don't know, that effect is appealing to me. Maybe some people that'll resonate with them as well. Just this visual, just farmland visual, I just think is cool. And I guess I can show you actually the let's go to the character himself. This is where we are now as the character. And so like this is the kind of the deal that I'm working with here is this detailed corn that moves and actually has kind of a shader on it that lets light pass through. And then behind that is just a basic kind of a crinkle cut layer of corn. And then after that it's just a flat plane of corn. And yeah, that's the whole technique behind this entire cornfield. So hopefully it looks like a lot of corn at little expense to the actual processor or whatever, the graphics card, whatever is doing that. It's really just a series of planes creating that effect. So that's kind of cool to see. Let me walk you through the rest of the game now, though. Let's see. So what will happen when we get here, if you don't make it past the windmill, you'll actually just see this path here. And of course it's blocked by our favorite moths. I've filled my guy up with fireflies already, so I can just walk through this stuff. But the actual path will be through here, this spooky barn. Again, it's not decorated yet, so it's completely barren, but you'll have to walk straight through here. This will be full of all kinds of stuff, all kinds of trash, enemies, interesting things. I don't know what I'll put here. Maybe this will be something. But here are fireflies. You can grab them, and then that way you can head back to that blocked path. And hopefully while you're here, you'll realize that this is a gate that could be opened somehow. It'll give you a prompt like, oh, this shackled closed. I could find the key. So what you'll do with that is you'll run all the way back here. This area I made much smaller than any of the other areas, but I believe it'll still take you just as long to complete, especially when there's enemies and all kinds of stuff in here. Because I did a lot of, I don't want to say backtracking necessarily. You do visit 4 unique parts of the farm throughout the entire journey, but you will crisscross through this main hub area as you collect more things. So like for now, we're going to go through here because we have our fireflies, and we're going to want to find a key for that gate at some point. And this stuff, like I said, it's not decorated. That guy, I don't think I'll make him very obvious. He won't be as clear that he's standing there. I want to hide a lot of bad guys within the corn to give you guys a surprise. But for now, that's just for me to remember that I need to put an enemy there. So what you'll actually do is you'll walk through the corn, which is, to me, a very enjoyable and relaxing experience. But there are enemies in here, so you got to watch out. So I've tucked them away into little corners like this just to kind of surprise the player. And I might actually disguise them more like corn as well. And I'll maybe put some more corn-related debris in the way to make it harder to see. So it's pretty barren right now. I'll go through a whole other pass decorating with rocks and all kinds of things. But yeah, this should give you the idea though of the vibe that we're going with. And I'm going to add triggers for adding new groups of enemies as you're exploring. So next time you cross through the hub area, I might add some more enemies that weren't there before. And stuff like that, you know, classic Resident Evil stuff. And so here we find another group of firefly or moths, but these ones you'll need 2 fireflies to pass through. So that'll be left for later. You'll see we'll kind of unlock a little shortcut to this part of the map right over here. You might have already noticed it with that big log over here. So you'll come through here, you'll do maybe some sneaking, maybe you can sneak around this guy. I don't know. Let's try to take him on though. I'm pretty good at it. Pretty good at this game. So yeah, you'll get here, you'll get a little shiny, maybe hidden in some debris. Oh, he's going to stand back up. You'll grab the key. You'll come here, push this over. Very nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to allow the player to actually fall into some kind of subterranean level or something like that. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. There's another pitfall later on. I don't know if I'm going to show everything right now, actually. I might just skip a little bit right now just to make this a shorter video. It's kind of late. I'm posting a little later than usual. I also don't want to spoil everything. But let me at least actually show you, like, further on down the line. Maybe this is too spoilery. It's just a different kind of little area that you can see. I think it's kind of cool. I actually went the wrong way, but let me just delete this stuff real quick so I can get through here. Okay, I just deleted the collider so I could actually fall down here. Let's see if I can make it. I think I have a better chance of getting it from this side. Let's try to run off this way and see if I can clip in. Okay, so I've clipped in. So this is a cool little river that you'll come into. Let's see, I'll change the setting so the fog changes. There. So you'll come down here at some point. Again, it's not decorated, but you'll plop down into here, and this is kind of like a little ravine with some mucky, dirty water with hay and stuff in it. And so you'll come through this way, and this is one of the ways you get to one of your puzzle pieces. All the puzzle pieces are by the windmills. So you'll walk under here, maybe encounter more enemies, who knows. Come over here, you'll find this windmill, and since it's next to the river, the earth is kind of sliding away, so they've had to build this kind of like structure underneath to hold the windmill up. I thought that was kind of fun. Climb up here, you'll find one of your puzzle pieces somewhere around here. It'll have a nice little quick shortcut that you can take back to the hub area to complete the quest, so that you can find your way back around to the bridge and then get over there to where the fireplace is. And yeah, hopefully that'll be an interesting journey for people who come through here. And that's kind of the style that I want to do these new areas in, these later areas. I've been doing kind of this long drawn out linear style. And so this is like, it's still linear, but there's more crisscrossings happening. More like a Resident Evil game, like an older Resident Evil game. So you're going to be revisiting the hub area and going back and forth. I know it took me a while to get this post out there, but I really didn't work that long on this area. So it's nearly completed, and I don't know, maybe 3 full days of work to make this, or maybe 4, to do the terrain and everything, and then put all the corns and stuff like that. So there's still decorating to do, and I need to script some more things like all the keys, the lock and key system. So there's plenty of work left to do, but like the hard part is over, and it really didn't take all that long. So I'm thinking with the future areas, the next area will be the castle town. We'll eventually find our way out that way to a castle, and we'll be kind of in the city streets, walking around, seeing these medieval buildings and stuff, and that should be pretty cool. But it'll be a similar style to this, where you're still doing plenty of exploring and stuff, but you're making much better use of the map. So I like this style better. It's quicker and easier, and I can't really dedicate that much time these days to actually working on this. So it does help to have a more streamlined level design for this sort of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's got the vibe down. This is kind of what I imagined, this kind of misty morning farm ambience, kind of being lost in the cornfield. So yeah, once I get this decorated and scripted and playable from start to finish, I will move right on to the next area. And yeah, hopefully we'll just continue on like that. I won't worry about the sound effects and stuff just yet, or the music. That can be another pass some other time. That actually is pretty time consuming in its own way. So I'm going to move on from that, just like I did with the swamp, just so we can start seeing some good progress on this stuff, because I really want to start seeing some progress that you guys can actually play through from start to finish in kind of like an early access sort of way. I am considering releasing this in an early access state, just so maybe to get a little more income, because the sound effects and the music, those aren't going to come cheap, and they really need to be there for the game to actually release. So yeah, that's that. Maybe a little rambly. Hopefully I can edit this a little bit. Anyway, I guess that's it for this video log. Thanks for hanging around, and thanks for watching. Until next time.